There are 5 questions I get when it comes to weekly staff meetings. Number 1, why do I have to have weekly staff meetings? If you watched any of my other videos, you know why. Richard Hanks of Mindshare Technology says, what gets measured once improves once, but what gets measured continuously improves continuously. This is the reason behind week after week staff meetings. Each employee's performance will be tracked daily by your dashboard, or the employee themselves, if the dashboard doesn't have their particular KPI, will report on their particular numbers themselves. This way, things get back on track before the month is over and time and money are wasted. It'll help you reach your monthly production goal. Number 2, people ask, when during the week do I hold a weekly staff meeting? It's imperative that you block out 1 hour each week when most team members are available. A lot of teams like to hold the meeting on a lunch hour. I have found if you do it then, you need 90 minutes instead of 60, and that's a half hour a week of lost production time. It's rare that everyone finishes their morning patients at the same time, so team members trickle in and need a mental break and then eat before you begin the actual meeting. A Tuesday morning, first thing, has been the most successful for many of my clients and my teams. A rotating assignment of picking up some fruit and bagels and coffee or juice that the office pays for works well and everyone is on time. Another benefit of this time is that you start the day running, motivated and organized. You might ask, why not Monday morning then? Well, Monday seems to be too early in the week to get our brains back in the office mode from the weekend. Having a Monday workday finished gets everyone refreshed to the issues at hand. Number 3, how do I handle part-time employees? If you have part-time employees that don't work on the scheduled staff meeting day, send them an email summary of the minutes and/or alternate the days of the meetings so all team members can come most of the time. It doesn't matter if you meet in the waiting room or if you have a nice elaborate team conference room, but it needs to be in a place where the whole team can meet one time without interruptions. Don't forget to lock the front door and post a note that you're taking time out to learn how to serve your patients better, and turn on your answering service with a similar message. Number 4, do employees clock in? If so, does the hygienist or associate doctor get paid a full salary? If not, what would make them willing to give up an hour of production? I suggest 2 things. Number 1, make weekly team meetings mandatory. Then check your state laws. I would recommend that you pay each team member for the hour. I know hygienists and associates will get paid more to come to the same meeting, but if you run these meetings correctly, you will get 10 times the ROI of the salary you pay them from all your team members. If your state laws allow, have them clock out and buy them lunch or a nice breakfast to get them to come. Number 5, what's on the agenda? First things first. While everyone is eating, each person takes time reporting their key performance indicators or KPIs. Then the doctor leads a discussion by celebrating successes and points to areas where improvement is needed. Leading a discussion means asking questions. Let the team be innovative at solving problems. Leaders who don't listen eventually will have a team that has nothing to say. If you or your team don't know how to improve metrics, check my other classes for some help. Reviewing KPIs is the single most important thing to do in these meetings. You do not want to waste time on someone's subjective opinion on something that the numbers prove otherwise later in the meeting. Samples of team KPIs are included in the free downloadable sample agenda. Second on the agenda, be sure and celebrate the successes. This means more to an employee's sense of job satisfaction than a raise ever would. Not to mention, positive reinforcement leads to repeating a positive behavior. If an employee feels appreciated and are recognized often, they will stay loyal to your practice and be your best word-of-mouth marketer. Many studies have proven that happy, productive employers are the ones who have clear goals with quick feedback on tasks that they have a chance of completing. Staff meetings done correctly will help you create this kind of work environment. Number 3 on the agenda, housekeeping issues. These are optional. Why? Because many items don't need to be brainstormed and could be sent in an email or text. Things like, hey everybody, be sure and refill the paper towel dispenser if you take the last paper towel. But other things that could be important in a meeting where brainstorming works well are things like, hey everybody, what needs to be done around the office to make a better environment for the team and the patients? Or does someone have a great idea from their last office and what they did? What about out of the office excursions or continuing education discussions? Post a paper or small whiteboard in a back hallway that hangs where the patients can't see, and all week the team can add to the housekeeping items as they think of them. But again, these items are addressed after the numbers. Don't get immersed in the thick of thin things during these meetings. Be quick about them. Take time to give your staff permission to bring up ideas in a brainstorm. This sends a message that you value their opinion. It again builds trust and appreciation. However, owners, don't be afraid to be the head coach. Only the doctor owner gets to write new laws, systems, or policies for the practice. But be sure to communicate to your team if you agree with something, and then delegate to someone to specifically accomplish or implement the task. Or make it clear that you will think think about the idea and come back next week with a decision. Number 6, be sure to have someone take notes or minutes of the meetings so that housekeeping items are followed up and reported on the next time. This review of notes should be done before any new housekeeping items are discussed. Staff meetings should be low pressure and enjoyable. Think of it as a sports meeting halftime break, not a meeting for juvenile delinquent.
And if you don't get your crap together, I'm gonna end up busting you and throwing you in jail. Got it?
It should be congratulatory and encouraging and motivating. The numbers to track that I give you should be adequate to manage your team. If you continue to add more and more things to track, you could overwhelm them with bureaucracy. If red tape overwhelms the actual practice of dentistry and care for patients, the clinical employees especially will end up hating their job. That's it for weekly team meetings. If you have any questions, be sure and let us know.